February air, a winter's hush, a different kind of love, a sacred rush. For the roses is all the fleeting glance, before the scales and a fighting chance. We're the phoenix nesters watching from the wire, seeing shadows fall, fueling the fire. Every story buried, every silent tear. Here comes a promise whispered, conquering the fear. Oh, Lady Justice, can you feel the shift arise? A love for the truth reflected in our eyes. We're turning the pages, breaking all the locks. This is our true crime, resetting all the clocks. They sold you a story, a neatly packaged lie, but the threads are unraveling under a watchful sky. From the cold case files to the digital trace, we're finding the heartbeat in this forgotten space. Oh, Lady Taro space, can you feel the shift arise? A love for the truth reflected in our eyes. Returning the pages, breaking all the locks. This is a true crime, resetting all the clocks. From the ashes of silence, a new day is born. For every lost soul, a promise is sworn. Lifting, steady and slow, a garden of justice is starting to grow. Shift to arise, pure justice. Shift to rise, Lady Justice.
Brian has been essentially convicted in the media. He has a right to have this information withheld, brought out in public, so that people can see it's not this neat little package. So people can start to wonder if Brian's innocent. Your Honor, Brian is innocent. So if I talk about things that are in the affidavit, and if I talk about things that we're seeking that the state wants to hide, I think that's fair game for the public to hear.
Fair game for the public to hear. Heary, heary. We are tired. Enough of the lies, y'all. Enough. I understand there's a lot of speculation in the IDAHO4, but we're resetting the clocks. We are actually talking about the IDAHO4 today. And boy, do I have some Phoenix fireballs. If you are here, you must hit the like button, the thumbs up button. If you got to go out, go hit it, come back in. I appreciate that. Got to get all these things out on the table first. Don't forget, Justice for All. I'm still revamping that website. I'm going to have a lot more up there for you. And one thing I want to make very clear here, we are not here to disparage, harm any individual or entities. We are here looking and speculating, looking at facts and filings. And if you've never been to a Phoenix Live, welcome. I'm your host, Phoenix at Phoenix Talks. And we here are all here for one purpose. And if you are part of this community, you are here and you show up for one reason, and that's to find the truth, to learn the truth. We challenge narratives here, guys. We demand clarity and we never stop asking questions. So if that is you, thank you for being part of this mission. When I say mission, it is a mission, folks, because you have to be mentally tough. You have to be strong and stay grounded because we stay curious. Now, if you are here for that purpose and that reason and you want a fireball right now because you show up all the time on time and you are here, type a 1 if you want me to give you the massive Phoenix fireball because I pay attention. I've got my magnifying glass. Seriously, I do have one so that I could see the screen a little better. I got my spectacles on today, my glasses, my computer glasses. So I am ready to rock and roll. Are you ready for this? All right. You know that I see things that most people don't. I bring it to you first and I talk about it because that's what I'm here for. I am here for the truth. I am so here for the truth. I've got 2 fireballs right up front if you want them. Let me welcome you all in while you're deciding if you want to hear it. Drop a 1. I'm a new subscriber and I absolutely love your content and your honesty, and you are 100% speaking the truth. I strive to speak the truth, but remember, I'm human. Sometimes I get it wrong. Sometimes I read something and I have to go back and verify before I say anything, but I appreciate you being here. I'm a new subscriber. I absolutely love it. Thank you so much. Welcome in, Caleb. Mod Day. Monday was the other day, and I totally spaced it. So if you guys want to give up any contributions, any thank you donations to the mods today, I will make sure 100% they get that all. Good morning, no talkie before coffee. Good to see you, Les, Trusty Mod, OG's in the house. Rebecca, good morning. Everyone, wake up. Karen, good morning. Dina, hello. Jackie in the house. Shirley, welcome in. I'm so glad you caught my live too. Brenda, welcome in. Lulu Bell, I like saying your name. Howdy, Nesters, trendiest mods in the world. Yes, we do have them here. Patty, good afternoon. Joey, bring Nancy home. I agree. How could we lose a whole human? How could, with modern technology, the world's most renowned investigative federal service, how could we have lost a whole individual, folks? That's the question you need to be asking yourself. How could they lose a whole elderly, and I will say elderly, individual in the middle of the probably the most, besides Houston, the most trafficked area in our country? How could you lose a whole person? And for people saying that, ooh, that guy had a backpack and it's full of Nancy stuff and there was blood on there, well, they were taken, honey, slow down, boo-boo. Slow the frick down, because that guy showed up. If you have not seen the video that Savannah Guthrie released on her mother, Nancy Guthrie, that guy had a backpack when he arrives at the door cam. The Nest cam showed the guy, and I'll bring it up just so you guys can all see it. That dude showed up at Nancy's house. I'm grabbing it real quick. With a backpack on. He wasn't leaving, folks. He wasn't leaving. He wasn't exiting. He was actually arriving. Okay, let's show you real quick. They've got the camera. I'll show you. I'll share my screen. Y'all, you've got to use logic. Logic will never fail you if you are thinking logically for yourself. You will never fail you. Let's watch it together.
To disengage the camera and so forth. This is.
He arrives. He wants to block the camera. He realizes there's a camera. Maybe someone didn't know. I think it's an inside job too. But how does a country with the best investigative service in the country lose an individual and not know nothing? Okay, part 1.
Critical because it's
his
also
backpack is filled even before he gets inside, folks. Yes, I believe he left a message while taking Nancy out the front door if his car was parked anywhere around there. Neighbors have to have cameras. And this backpack is filled. I don't know if it's a kill kit I don't know what he has plans. Maybe a change of clothes, a wig. I don't know. I'm just speculating. But dude came up there in the patio, in the entry door, with a backpack filled of his own things or God knows what. He has not packed Nancy's stuff in the backpack.
Of the ongoing work that has happened today. So
he's looking for something to bust to take off the camera. And he picks up some fairy lights.
When we were first given guidance to be monitoring for this, we knew there were images. That work has continued behind the scenes.
Dude has a weapon. He's got a weapon in his pocket. He has a knife on his shoulder, if you didn't see it. And he has a full backpack of God knows what, and he's got a mask on. This is a man by the structure, the height, the build. Okay? I'm just telling you.
Who are deploying.
Dude is not an expert.
This kind of skill level to first get out the first image, and the work goes on to provide these videos. This will be critical. It appears they're from the...
Dude looks like he's got boxing gloves on.
Same spots that we had seen in the still images, but again,
he does have a little limp.
Is helpful for people to be able to understand what was going on, have a sense of who this person might be. You see the person moving away from the doorway and so forth. So I think there's potential probative.
There was him coming and not leaving with a backpack of Nancy's things. Okay, that's really going to help you. So how in the hell do we lose a whole person? Okay, that just doesn't make sense to me. But I digress. And yes, I believe it probably is an inside job. Somebody that knew her, somebody that maybe, you know, humbly, I would say maybe a lawn person knew the family, caregiver, something of this nature. Someone knew who she was. Uber driver, I don't know. I just don't know. But I know this. Who in the hell lets a news company go up and investigate the front door where there is blood? Okay, now we're seeing trampled on the crime scene. What in the heck is going on in this case? I've seen cases recently where they go and they ruin the crime scene area. They just totally decimated it, right? Because now you got film crew that's coming up filming blood on Nancy's porch stairs. Who in the heck allows that in a true crime scene? No one. No one. Do you guys watch the live videos that are going on? The News Nation brought you this video, guys.
Arizona. We were hearing from police today who appeared no closer to finding Nancy Guthrie. Pima County Sheriff was out earlier, appeared at an update and appeared more hesitant to share information about the search for the missing Today Show anchor's mother. We learned a lot about what the authorities do not know now. They don't know where she is. They don't have DNA evidence to indicate suspects, and they don't know if the crime is random or not. As I bring in senior national correspondent Brian live in Tucson, I do want to get into this issue of ransom note, which you and I talked about.
Are you guys seeing the same characters play out on social media and TV?
Last hour, not any confirmation of a note from authorities by any stretch, but a confirmation that they're aware, Brian, that there are reports of a possible note, right?
Yeah, so we asked about it at the press conference, Connell, and the sheriff kind of dodged the question about whether there had been any demand for a ransom. Basically just said that they're continuing to look into everything. Now there has been this TMZ report where TMZ is indicating that they actually received a ransom note related to the case. And the specifics they gave are that there were specific clothing information that Nancy Guthrie was wearing, and also specifics about certain things inside the house, and that there was an actual dollar amount that they were asking for. We have no idea if this is legit or just some crazy person emailing TMZ. But this is interesting, Connell. This is now out on the sheriff's office website. They say, we are aware of reports circulating about possible ransom notes regarding the investigation into Nancy Guthrie. We are taking all tips and leads very seriously.
And the FBI is now involved, obviously.
that comes in goes directly to our detectives who are coordinating with the FBI. So again, they are not really confirming or denying whether any of these ransom claims are legit, Connell.
And more FBI involvement, right, at that news conference today, at least, in their presence. And they were reluctant to speak yesterday, but maybe even more so today about details, right?
And is Brian Enton really out there? This looks like a backdrop to me. I'm just speaking. I see the outline in his clothing, just like the news anchor. That's a background. I just have some questions because I'm not too far from there. I could go jump in my car and go down there and see what's going on in person. However, this is all sketchy to me. They're letting anybody close to the house, folks. When is the last crime? If this was a true crime scene, they wouldn't be able to get close to the house. They would be blocked off so far away. But the sheriffs are all standing around the house like, hey, this is entertainment. Blows your mind.
Yeah, they seem to be much, much more tight-lipped today, Connell, in terms of just the vibe from the sheriff. He gave a lot more information yesterday. We were actually able to just walk up to the house, and we just got some new video, which I'm hoping to get to you soon. But it's pretty disturbing when you get up to the front door of the house, Connell. You can now see blood, like a blood trail coming out of the front of the house, which is something that we're seeing for the first time now that the crime scene is cleared.
The
We could
crime
get a little
scene is cleared. So you think that they are just going to let people walk up to the damn front door in a crime scene? That whole house, that whole area, 50 to 100 whatever yards, is an entire crime scene.
Closer. And the other thing we noticed, which I had reported earlier, is that the ring, here we go, this is the new video. Look at this closely, Connell, because this is the first time that we're seeing this. But you can see right there, see the blood? There's blood out.
And there's that little string of lights the guy broke against the ring, the nest. Straw.
Outside the front door very clearly. And then you'll notice the ring camera is also missing. And I asked the sheriff about that.
And
he said they're
have you
looking
seen the
into it.
neighbors walk by? They are not even interested. They think this is all fun entertainment.
Whether did the perpetrator pull the ring camera off when they were leaving? He said that's still under investigation.
Does it stand out to you that you're able to do that this is not still secured as some sort of a crime scene that they're allowing?
Crazy reporting going on. Now, with that being said, we've got the same characters involved in the Idaho 4. Okay, and I think almost the same characters that were involved in the Gabby Petito case. Now, I'm going to tell you, I'm tired of the lies. I know you guys are tired of the lies. We just want the truth in reporting. And if you're telling me that you're an independent journalist and you are entertaining people, well, somebody just brought up a interesting thing. TMZ, let me go back a minute. Let me go back. Gee Whizzical, thank you so much. I'll make sure the mods get that for sure. And my mods will tell you they get paid. They get paid. This is not a show up at will type of well, it is a show up at will, but they are compensated for their time. Believe me, it's not much, but it's enough. So do me a favor. Cat's Girl said Harvey Levin from TNZ is also in the Epstein files. Well, you know what? Let's just gander over there, take a field trip, live field trip right now, and let's go see if he is indeed in these files. I will share my tab, and I do see his name pop up a few times. And let's see. Oh, Harvey Levin is a good friend. I'm not a robot. G Vacation is Epstein, and Jeffrey Epstein is G Vacation. We know that. Mike Stitrick tried to call you. Harvey Levin, who runs TMZ, is a good friend. How good of a friend? Right? How do we know how much they are friends? We're bringing you truth and facts and evidence here. They've reported all on this, but I might be able to get him to do something on the Duchess and her backpedaling. I'll save it for the right time. Yada, yada, yada. Okay, with leaking to British press, but I think we need to get a statement out. Now, I believe humbly that Jeffrey Epstein was a plant, in my humble opinion. I don't know what they were gathering, but these people are all over the place. Then they mentioned Zuckerman. Zuckerman suggested a shorter and punchier, no attacks on press, plead guilty to solicitation, no tabloid exaggeration of pedophilia. GE paid a price. No allegations of minors since 2005 suggests leaking to London press the absurdity of Fergie's statements. There were law enforcement people in my office when I was on work release that let her in. Interesting stuff here, folks. These are, oh my God, these are some of the people that we entrust with our modern technology. I can only tell you the pictures that I have seen of these men in high profile places and women that are sitting around boardroom tables making decisions for me and you. Now, I will tell you honestly, I know people that have been in boardrooms that have heard the plans for the future technology, and we're talking about long time ago in the 90s. I was in the tech sector. I know what happens in these areas. I know what kind of hardcore partying they do. You know, work hard, play hard. Thank you so much, Cats Girls. That will go directly to the mods. Thank you so much. We are just taking a donation for the mods. They are here. They do such a good job to keep this community safe for you. And if you are trolling, keep on a scrolling. We're going to show you the door. So I just want to let you know there is a lot of facts and evidence out here. That was just one example of Harvey Levin's name being mentioned. Cats Girl, thank you. Tried to call you. He's a really good friend. And then the emails go on and on and on. So if you're not sure where to find these files, I've been reading them for over a week. I had to stop when I got to some scary files. But I will tell you, the whole library is there. You can go search by a key phrase. You can go search by a key word. Now, since the unredacted ones have come out, it has been wild. It has been wild because now you're starting to see pictures of people that they have unredacted to let the information out. So all he basically said about Harvey Levin is he is a good friend. All right. So who is ready for the first fireball of the day? I know I am. I have held tight-lipped about this. Now we have truthful evidence. And since y'all been patient on the rant about Guthrie and the update since I was talking about it anyways, we aren't talking politics. That's right. We're not going to talk politics, but we will talk facts and evidence. So let's get into it. Please find a better picture of Cara. I will. That is the picture that the media put out that they wanted to present to you. Are you okay with this? I'm going to make a point here. Thank you for mentioning that picture. I'm going to make a point. I am glad somebody did recognize this. This is the media spin. Excuse me. This is a media spin. Okay? Now that you've said it, the cat's out of the bag. I am not the media. This is a media picture. They put out it. They put the spin out. All I've done is put it up on the screen. And if it incites you that much and really pisses you off, maybe this isn't the stream for you because we're thinking open-minded here. You didn't even let me get through the rest of my presentation. Okay? So I'm going to go ahead and give it to you straight. Xana's mom has come a long way. And if you don't believe me, go and watch my previous video on this topic. Okay? Because Xana's mom has drastically changed her life. And maybe it's because of this situation. But this is what the media told us. The media told us that Kara was a bad person. The media has told us that Kohberger, you know, that picture in the hoodie, right? He's a bad person. The media has told us all this. And this is my point. Think for yourself. Do your own homework. I know it's a lot of homework to do, but you've got to do better. You've got to do better. We have to do better. We have to hold them accountable to do better. And that is what we, the people, need to do. We need more independent journalists taking a look at all things in the media. Is this true? Is this factual? Is this what they want to paint? Right? I mean, they're already doing it in the Nancy Guthrie case. Okay? That hoodie picture of, you know, Kohberger, they did it there too. I mean, I've got the worst, grainiest picture that you could think of. And here it is. You know, I'll just throw it up there for reference so everybody knows that I'm talking real shit, not smack. Okay? And then you look at Koberger's Ada County arrest picture. The media is not painted the right picture in the Idaho 4 case. I'm going to call them out. I'm going to call them out, whoever their little trolls are. I'm going to call them out today. This is his real arrest picture that they have put, Ada County Sheriff's Office has put out there. This looks nothing like what they've told us to believe. This is what they've told you to believe. But we've had enough of the lies, people. We've had enough of the lies. Now, first level of business here I'm going to get into. This was the actual documents the ISP has shared with the public. And I've always said from one day, who was victim 1? Who was victim 1? Because Kaylee's victim 2, Maddie's victim 3, Xana was victim 4, and Ethan was victim 5. And there was a witness. There was plenty of witnesses. There was witnesses, folks. There was a witness, a 22-year-old witness that lived in Boise. And witness 2, 3, 4, 5 are missing. And then there's a witness 6. Okay? They've hidden a lot. We are tired of the lies. We are tired. I am tired. Okay. So, who was witness 1 that was 22 years of age that lived in Boise? And who was witness 20 that was 23 that was unidentified, however, was born in 99? I know who these 2 people are. They've redacted it for a reason. If you know, you know. Because it's redacted and because they don't give enough information, we really cannot say. And that is private information. But witnesses 2 through 5 all know what happened that day. They know. 100% hands down. They freaking know. Now, yeah, are we being punked again? Probably, in my humble opinion. But I digress. So victims 2 through 5. Who was victim 1? Well, the autopsy came out. Here's the fireball. Get ready. The autopsies came out, and Kaylee was 2. Maddie was 3. Xana was 4. Ethan was 5. Who is the number 1 victim? And is that the victim of the picture that we see that they redacted because they did an oopsie and released the pictures and then took the pictures back? Because we do see a body in the reflection, because security cameras, just like light bulbs, are convex. And you see somebody laying on the floor. I showed that picture. I can show it again, but we all have seen that picture time and time again. Even the Gonzalez family says there was a body in the picture and they had to take them down. So that body is not of a CSI worker. This individual is unidentified and hidden for a reason. We don't know who this individual was. I don't know who that individual was. There is your first fireball that they are still lying and hiding from us. Enough of the lies. If this incident, this event that took place that would hold individuals accountable in law enforcement and federal agencies, etc., they should be held accountable. If they did something to have these individuals harmed, they should be held accountable. They're not above reproach to where they have no God. I get frustrated every time. These kids need justice. Kids need justice. Could victim number 1 be Brian? I don't think so, in my humble opinion. And if it is, then boy, they got a lot of explaining to do. because I will tell you, in the video on my TikTok, on the TikTok streets, and on the YouTube, I shared with you the video of the guy. Oh, shoot. Let me go look at that picture. Let me go on my YouTube and see if that resembles the guy that was in jail. Hold on. Why would they put him in jail? To protect him? Why would they put somebody in jail that was maybe a victim? I don't think. Oh, early reports said 4 dead, 1 injured, and they took this individual to the hospital. Yeah, I don't think. No, he was never there. That's right. Logically, no connection, no fingerprints, nothing. We probably have an unidentified male that I believe is a male that actually, factually, could be this individual, victim number 1. I think victim number 1 will be able to tell us the whole case. But these witnesses that were there, that observed this happened, have to know. They know. If you guys remember the video, let me see if I can find it real quick. Let me just check it out. I think it was in a short or a video. Hold on. Kohberger wasn't the same guy in the jail that I was trying to reach out to. And let me take a peek. Was it the same guy? We've all seen that. Shorts. I think it's under shorts. Hold on. And remember, my lives are unscripted. So sometimes we do live digs. Sometimes we go out. And you never know. You never know what's going to happen on a live. Let's see if I can find that video real quick. Is this it? No. I thought I put a picture. And let me see. Wow. Okay, well, I owe you that video, guys. You know that the video, at the end of the video, I share the picture in jail, and it looks nothing like Kohberger. And what if there's 2 Brian Kohbergers, y'all? What if there are 2 Brian Kohbergers? One they put front facing to the public, and one that they're trying to protect. Who knows? We don't know this. I've seen this before. Oh my God. Have you guys, it just dawned on me. Have you guys, speaking of, I'm going to be all over the place today, this morning. Have you all thought about this in the Epstein case? There's a movie that I watched the other day, and I am just floored and baffled. It was called Blink Twice. Has anybody seen that movie, Blink Twice? Holy moly. I started thinking about this last night, and I never knew about an extra victim. Yeah. In the beginning, the news reported there was 4 dead, 1 injured, and taken to the hospital. Did that individual live? I don't know. We don't know anything about that. So where in the world did my video go on Kohberger? It was right when I started over on TikTok. I shared that video. Dang, that's going to really bother me. So anyways, in this movie, in the movie Blink Twice, it was shocking to me that they go and they have these parties and they, drug these women that they pick up all over the place. And these guys are the tech guys sitting around the boardroom tables. And it's wild. It is absolutely wild if you've never seen it. And so they go on to say all this stuff about, they're drugging them to forget what was happening on the island. Well, one of these girls remembers, and they just take justice into their own hands. I'm not saying that we should do that, but what I'm saying is it comes a point where we've had enough. Somebody needs to stand up and get this innocent man out of jail. Or is this just an operation or a cover up or something else is going on? We don't know. And that's where the public has to use their logic and think, wow, Do I say something? Do I do something? Do I write the DOJ? Hell yeah, I did. What are they going to do? Send a response letter back? We've got this under control. No, they're not going to respond back at all. They're just going to continue to do what they have to do to make the American people safe for national security. I get that. I totally get that. Now, two things that come to my mind when I think of, and one of them is enough of the lies. Enough of the lies, because why? We got it wrong, guys. We got it wrong. And I'll be the first to say it. We got it wrong. They tried to paint this horrible picture in the media. Yeah, the sorority was fined for alcohol use, hazing, and drug related. They were suspended. They were suspended in the pictures, thing 1 and thing 2. Oh, yeah, that too. Like it's a Diddy party. Yeah, absolutely. And I know we're talking, blink twice if you haven't clicked. Yeah. So, I mean, this stuff happens. They have so much money that God only knows. I every time I start thinking about the Epstein files and what I've read so far, I'm just thinking about the kids, the children. I'm thinking about CPS and how Life Touch and pageants and John Benet Ramsey and all these other things that come to mind, Poly Class, and it just all comes to my mind, in the front of my mind, that this shit happens, that this happens. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I agree. But let me focus on Xana's timeline between 4 and 4:25. Xana's on the second floor, same level as Dylan. I've made a diagram, which some people out there are wrong in their assessment. And there is more blood confirmation in this entire house. Okay. I've got my own little charts and my own little scale. And, there's other blood stains in this house that doesn't paint the picture that they want us to believe. And this is why you need to research for yourself. I'll say it over and over and over. Okay. Uh, Xana's blood was pretty much contained to her room, but there are other spots that are in the documents that I'll bring you a final picture. There is more, folks. Yes, she was on the second floor, same level as Dylan, above the first floor roommates, right below Maddie and Kaylee. Okay. You know, if you look at what we were told early on by Dylan pointing out and other things like that, crazy stuff, crazy. The PCA was a clean timeline that they, I want to say, humbly fabricated. The DoorDash delivery arrives, Xana gets food, and this confirms she's awake. There's no speculation there, right? At 4:04, a white Hyundai Elantra surveillancing and passes the house, parks vehicles shortly, and then 4:12, the deed is starting. 4:13, someone's here crying from Xana's room. A male voice says, "It's okay, I'm going to help you." This was all based off of the PCA. These statements are documented as witness observations. They're not 100% foolproof. So if you're believing Dylan, those were observations. They were not proven facts. 4:17, nearby security cameras whimpering, a loud thud, a dog barking. And this is all I will say about the video. This is all I will say about the video that you've been seeing with audio. In my opinion, and for the rumors that are out there that this house was wired for security and sound, maybe it was. Maybe somebody got the sound and put that sound from inside the house, muffled it up a little bit, and released it to the public. That is possible. That is possible. Do you think that that's possible? Anything is possible. Okay. So when you see what I'm about to show you, you're going to be like, holy, 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 holy. Why did we believe them for so long until today? We're going to go in public detective mode here. Xana was awake close to the time of the attacker. Her TikTok activity says that she was alive, says that she was active. I'm not going to say alive, I'll say active. Okay. And then the 417 audio narrows her time of her demise between 413 and 417. That's a 4-minute window. The third floor, Maddie and Kaylee, to the second floor, it's inferred from Dylan's statement. This is where people got it wrong. She interrupted him. That's not in the PCA. She was chased upstairs. There's no documentation of that. Her blood is not seen on any of the stairs. She was definitely the last one attacked. That's likely, very likely, but it's not officially confirmed in any wording. No wording. Because of the fact, when you look at the autopsy order, she is listed as number 4. Okay? She's listed as number 4. So when you see things like this and people are saying all these crazy stories, because that's what they are at this point, they are just stories. You have to ask yourself, have you read the files? Have you looked at the autopsies? Have you seen anything that would make you believe otherwise? Yes, 100%. Xana was listed as number 4 autopsies. Maybe it was the time that they arrived at the corner, I don't know, for the medical exam. But here's the real questions we should ask. If Xana was on TikTok at 4:12, why didn't she call 911? Don't you think if she was on TikTok and heard all this stuff, why wouldn't she call 911? And did Xana physically see the suspect? Don't know. Did Ethan encounter him first? Don't know. Was the male victim the suspect or Ethan? Was that Ethan's voice? Why does the 417 thud align so tightly with the vehicle departure? From the audio that we've heard, those are pressure points, folks. Those are pressure points, because we're going to get into it right now. More lies. How many more lies are we going to believe until we start asking, when are we going to get the truth? When do you think the truth is going to come out? Do you think we're going to know in the next year or two? Drop how many years you think we're going to know something. 1 year, 2 years? What do you all think? 3 years, 5 years, 7 years? What do you all think at this point? Never. Maybe someday, not sometime soon. 11 and 2. 11 months to 2 years, 99 years. Yeah, that's when the order runs out. 20 years. At least 7. I would agree that DM is not a bona fide material witness because from her own admissions, she created plausible denial and reason. Yep, absolutely. No talkie before coffee says never. I think we'll get answers, but I just don't know when. Hopefully someone will step in and say X, Y, and Z. 2 years. 2 years maybe. I don't know. It depends. It depends on what. I mean, are you ready to learn the truth? Are you guys ready to know the truth? I think we know the truth, but we just don't want to accept it. Is that even a possibility? Yeah. That's a possibility. So when you think about that, I want you to think about this and what we're told. This is a kicker. Let me grab the audio. Let me grab the video. And let me make sure I've got this teed up because I don't want it to. Here it is. It's a news clipping. And hold on a second. Let me grab this one. I don't know why that is up there. I'll save that for the end of the stream because that one's a good one. And just for the record, everyone, here's a truthful statement. Brent Kopaka was originally from Illinois. He was not from Pennsylvania. I don't know who made that rumor up, but that pisses me off disking on a veteran. That just pisses me off. Okay? Now, we have been told this story from, of course, Banfield, of all people. So I have to use that video. And I want you to listen closely of what she shares. All right, here we go. So I'm going to see if I can get the actual video with her in here.
The parents of Kaylee Gonzalez, her, not only the parents, but also her sister. So Olivia is Kaylee's sister, and Steve Gonzalez is Kaylee's dad, and Christy Gonzalez is Kaylee's mom. And the three of them joined Brian Enton tonight. They said that they're really becoming quite frustrated. Their patience has moved on to frustration. But then they said something else that was just heartbreaking. They revealed to Brian tonight that they have Kaylee's ashes in the house, but right beside Kaylee's ashes are Maddie's ashes. And that Maddie Mogan's parents wanted their daughter's ashes to stay beside her best friend. Don't forget that it was Steve Gonzalez at the vigil on Wednesday night who said that the girls had died together. Best friends, grew up together, best friends forever. They died together in the same room, in the same bed even. And now their ashes are beside each other at the Gonzalez home. And there will obviously be plans for some kind of funeral and memorial services for both of those girls, maybe jointly, maybe together. Just such a sad detail. And then as that news was breaking, all of a sudden I heard in my earpiece, that's it's an IFB, and it's usually we get instructions from the control room as to when to go to break and timing, etc. I heard that Kara Northington was live on the phone, ready for an interview, and that's Xana Kernodle's mom, and she hasn't talked to anybody, and this was her first interview, and she was she was so emotional, understandably, but she also said if you
and here are those
critical
things that she's talking about. Here's the actual interview. I want you to listen to what Kara says closely.
Really, honestly, I've just been dealing with my family, and we've just been absorbing the shock.
Can you tell me, Kara, what you do know about this terrible night?
Well, what I do know is not nearly enough. We need more answers. There is so much more that can be done that has not been done. And I just know that there's GPS, NASA could find out who went into that home that night. I know that. Why hasn't that been looked into? Why hasn't that been accessed?
Kara, can I ask you that there is a mysterious sort of 4-hour and 45-minute block of time that's unaccounted for by the police timeline. The police say that your daughter Xana and her boyfriend Ethan were at the Sigma Chi house from 8 until 9 p.m., but then they don't have any information on where they were from 9 p.m. till 1:45 a.m. Do you know anything about that from either your information from the police or Ethan's family or anybody?
I may be candid in saying this, but I think that they were at a bar.
And where do you get that information from? Did someone tell you that they'd gone from the Sigma Chi house to a bar before they ended up home?
That's what their father conveyed to me, that he thought that they were at the bar at that night. So, yeah, I mean, that's what college kids do on the weekends. So.
But you don't know for sure that they left the Sigma Chi house.
And if a bar, what bar would these 19-year-old kids go to?
Bar.
Hold on a minute. My internet is acting out. Did I glitch out? Did I glitch out? Can everybody hear me? If you can hear me, drop a 1. If they were at a freaking bar, what bar would a 19-year-old be able to get into in a college town that, you know, it's kind of odd because when they interviewed the corner club owner, he basically said something to the effect that he wouldn't want to be in trouble with the local cops. So I wonder if maybe they were at the bar or a bar.
Absolutely not.
And have the police asked you any questions about where Xana might have been, or if she texted you, or if she had, if she communicated with any family members in that period of time?
No, no answers whatsoever. Really. I asked the investigators when they come and spoke to me. They were not able to offer me any answers. None.
Can I ask you, Xana's sister Jasmine has put such a beautiful tribute to Xana on her Instagram. And I wonder if she has any additional information, just perhaps from being able to access her sister's social media or her phone. Has Jasmine been able to ascertain any other details of what happened that night? Or
no, I'm not going to speak for Jasmine. You would have to ask her that yourself. And she said she's going through it right now without her sister. And I'm sure if she had any answers or any information, she's already conveyed that to the investigators.
May I ask you if you can confirm that Xana's room was on the second floor of the house?
Yes, I can confirm that. And
Sorry?
I just had a question about the other 2 roommates who were there on the first floor. And I just wonder, wasn't something heard, or, the surviving roommates that were there, they had to have heard something. They had to have, the dog, something.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And
they had to have heard something. The desperation in Xana's mom's voice will always, every time I hear that, breaks my heart. It breaks my heart. I couldn't imagine the struggle that she's going through. And when you look at her and see how far she's come, she just wants answers. She wants answers. Now, something that Kara said in another interview kind of struck me odd. And I'm sure that maybe somebody remembers Brian Enton's interview. And let me see if I can find it real quick. Now, Xana's mom's name is different than her last name. And I'm wondering if somebody put 2 and 2 together that they were actually related in the area. And that put Xana at risk. It's just a thought, speculation, just a thought. Now, there was, let me see if I can find it real quick, because I want you to hear it for yourself. He did a interview, and let me see if I can find it. And while I'm looking for the interview, where is it? I had it teed up yesterday, and I thought, you know what? Maybe I will show this. Dang it. Where is it? Here you go. Let me see if this is it. I hate showing this one because she's like really in a rough spot in her life. Let me see. I should have put it on audio so that you could at least hear it. Maybe not see it so much. Who remembers, and I know you probably have seen this, who remembers when Xana's mom said Jeff went over there to do something with the locks? That video since has been removed. Gosh. Why are they removing videos? Xana's mom. I'm still looking for this. Okay, so you guys do remember that. I remember that. Okay, I remember personally. I had the video teed up and I must have just put it somewhere else. The whole thing about the doors, the locks had been fixed or something. And I wish we had more information on this, because in Jeff's statement, when they interview and take, that interview of Jeff, it never sat right with me after seeing these pictures. This was Xana's doorknob, folks. There was no lock. I don't know about the front door. This was Xana's doorknob. Right here, I'll share the actual pictures that I have. This was her doorknob. Did it look like something was replaced or maybe fixed? Maybe. I don't know, but that was the doorknob on Xana's door. Was it broken before and maybe Jeff went over there to repair it or fix it? I don't know, but that was Xana's doorknob. Okay. And if we go to the other spaces of the house, let's look at Dylan's doorknob. That is a standard doorknob. Okay. Now, I remember her saying that, it had, Brian Enton had said that there were keypads on some of these doorknobs. I don't see any keypads internally on any of these doorknobs. I don't. That was another media lie. There were no security safe doorknobs. What in the hell are they reporting about these doorknobs, thinking that these kids were secure and somebody broke in and bypassed the security codes? What were they thinking? These were standard doorknobs. I had that in my notes. Look at Dylan's doorknob. Same. Other than the front door and the HVAC mechanical room, all these doorknobs were the same pretty much, just with the lock on it. There's no security locks on these doors. So why did they make us think that there were keypad locks? That was Brian Enton's interview that said most of these, had security pads. Believe me, hopefully I should have took a screen recording of it. There's Kaylee's regular doorknob. Regular doorknob. There's Kaylee's. Again, regular doorknobs. Regular doorknobs. These kids, I don't think had a stalker, or Kaylee didn't have a stalker, or I mean, I would have, if I thought I had a stalker, I'd have beefed up security, like 100%. 20 cameras, key lock pads, tripwires, you name it, I'd have the whole 9 yards. That's just me, okay? But if you look at all the doorknobs, they are all standard like doorknobs. 100% doorknobs. Maddie's doorknob, look right there, regular doorknob, Kaylee. Let's get to Maddie's and let's see if Maddie's has a regular doorknob too. Some of these pictures are redundant. Let me see if I can get over to 3. Let's see if her doorknob is normal too. Regular doorknob. Another one. So you guys get the idea that they put out on the news that some of these doors had keypads, regular doorknob. Maddie, all these had regular doorknobs except for downstairs. Let me look at Bethany's. Hold on. Miscellaneous. Regular doorknob there to me. Regular door. Let's look at some other ones. You know, if anything, being on the basement, I would have had a keypad to my door down below. I mean, that's the entry house. Let's see. See if I can get any. Yeah, I think regular doorknobs pretty much. So, I mean, anything that they have told us on the news, regular doorknob right here at the bottom. The first empty room on the right has a regular doorknob. There's no keypad on that. The only 2 keypads I see is the front door and the storage door. That's it. That's it. So whoever sold the story in the media that there were keypad doors at 1122 threw us a lie. I'm still trying to find that one. I want you to be able to see this. So, I mean, they made it sensational, right? Oh, yeah, the keypads, the door locks. I mean, all this stuff is there to install fear. Fear. It's all fear, right? Then they go all the way from, oh, he's guilty, to they demolish the house, and now you can't see anything for the whole entire time until today, right? Until today, have you not been able to see when the photos were released? Not until
See this house being demolished despite the objections of at least one of the families.
Yeah, from out there, it's kind of like unbelievable to me to see that house down. It happened a lot faster than I expected. It seemed like really within a couple of hours they had done most of the work with tearing the house down. And I've been in touch with the families over the last couple of days. Kaylee's family in particular. And you know, this hoping that the prosecution and that the University of Idaho would change their minds and decide to keep the house standing until a trial. But you know, they had their minds made up. I mean, they weren't going to change, and it's done now. That the house is down.
Well, talk a little bit about, for those who weren't following it as closely as you, what went into that decision, because, you know, the argument that there might have been evidence in a home like this that was the scene of a brutal murder seems logical, but I suppose both sides eventually agreed that because of all the technology we have and everything else, it wasn't necessary in this case. Talk about how it unfolded.
Yeah, so the prosecution and the defense has said that they and the police that they did 3D modeling.
So who was feeding Brian Enton all this information? That's my question. Why would they feed him all this information? Because he puts it out to the public. He's sharing all this information out to the general public. Hey, be scared, do this, do that. And I've got another video I want to share with you real quick.
possible to put yourself in his footsteps. Earlier, we looked at the route.
This is the fear. This is the fear factor
that a killer would have had to take if he were driving to the crime scene. But what if he arrived on foot? What if he left the same way? News Nation's Brian Enton retraced how he may have disappeared into the night on foot.
Ashley, at the beginning of the show, we showed you how the killer may have drove in, what the roads are like in this area, and there's only one way in and one way out. But if you were on foot, it's easier to get in and out. Not so much from the back, because I showed you at the beginning of the show, there's a wooded area, there's sort of a steep incline back there, and then more houses, and there's these fences. Some of the other houses on the side are fenced in. But if you left the front of the house, you wouldn't have to walk down the road the way we drove in. You could cut through, and this is what a lot of the students do that we've seen coming and going. There's this little walkway that cuts through between a big apartment building and a couple of houses on this side. And this is the way a lot of the kids go to class or go to the fraternity houses. They walk down this little pathway in between the buildings, and they come out to this parking lot right here. So you bypass that whole road that we drove in on, and you end up here in this parking lot. And then you've got access to the main drag here. You've got the field, band field, which we've been talking about. And then there's the Sigma Chi house. So you're pretty much out at the campus just within maybe like 30 seconds by taking that little shortcut, Ashley.
Brian.
So you know what I'm going with this, right? You have to think about the players that have been telling us, oh my God, the news, the fear, the doors, the locks, all these other things. You have to think about, was this truly a psyop? Is this truly just a bunch of lies to try to manipulate the public into believing what they want us to believe? There were security on these doors. No, I just showed you the pictures that have come out 2.5, 3 years afterwards, right? What happened to Xana the night of her attack? We don't know. But if somebody had put together that Kara Northington was indeed Xana Carnoodle's daughter, was she at risk? We all know the background of Carol Carnoodle. We all know that her arrest record has been scrubbed and cleared. We all know that she has gone to get help and change her life. We know that. This is not a diss on her. This is about the role in the case of Idaho 4 with Xana being related to her. Now, remember in the MPD, folks, remember I brought to you, they went into jail in the ISP, sorry. They went into the jail and the ISP detectives went and talked to Kara and basically she said, if so-and-so is responsible for this, I want it to be known. Kara Mogan. No, that's not her name. Kara Northington. Okay, so she did do an ISP interview while she was, in fact, in jail. And there was, some consistency with what she was saying. She was in the county jail, I believe, and the detectives went and interviewed her. I can't remember the ISP number for the life of me. I just remembered it was there. And there are too many things that don't make sense. So there were, in fact, 2 documents that stated these findings, the interview with Kara and about Xana. And I never put the 2 and 2 together until I realized Xana's last name was obviously different. It hit me a long time ago, but now it makes total sense to me. Somebody must have put together right before the weekend before. It was Parents Weekend. Does everybody remember that Parents Weekend? I've showed you the details before for Idaho, University of Idaho. Yeah, she looks like Letitia Stout. I know people have said that before. I followed that story too. Parents' weekend was the weekend before 2026. Okay. I've all showed you the details on that. 2022 Parents' weekend. And that was November 4th. I think it was November 4th. I have to look at the calendar, what to expect. Here we go. And parents came, and there was a statement that was made. That was parents' activity, November 4th, 5th, 6th. Tells you all about that. That was from the Argonaut. But Xana had her car broken into before that. Ooh, interesting. Did not know that. Did not know that. So when you look at the parents' weekend right before, and we're not judging anyone here, we're just stating facts. Parents' weekend was before that, and there was a statement, or there was something I read that Dylan's dad was there, and Kaylee, I believe, asked who is that man that Dylan was talking to, and they found out it was Kaylee's dad. I'm sorry, it was Dylan's dad. I wonder if Kaylee, being the sleuth she was, did some research on who Dylan's dad was. Vice versa, if they met all these parents, somebody may have been sleuthing around to know and find out who all these parents were. That could have been a dangerous thing for everyone in that family. Yeah, Dylan, I've never seen that in writing. If anybody has that in writing, that would be great. That would be just the cherry on the top of the sundae. Absolutely. As a former addict, you can't hurt my feelings, and I shouldn't be hurting theirs if they're real ones. Absolutely. No, no one's here to judge her real dad, Dylan's real dad. And they did. I would have to say this. These kids thrived on humiliation rituals. I really believe so. I believe so in my heart that people found out who these parents were, and they just decided to just go all out on these kids. I don't know why. In my gut feeling, I have always felt this, that they were targeted because of who they were and who their parents were. I have always said that. Now, I want to leave with this in mind. There are still some good people left in this world. And I saw a video the other day. And I was going to give you a personal story, but I think I'll hold off on that. There are some good people in the world. I pay it forward all the time because I feel that's what I'm called to do, right? And I think we need a little bit more humanity than anything, in my humble opinion. You know, there's so much crap out there in this world that we see, so much hurt. I saw this video. I'm not sure if this is the one, but let me see if it is. It might be. Let me see. And not just for people. I'm saying in general. It's in the text that they made those texts. Oh, that's right. I don't know if those are real texts either. There's been so much media manipulation, I should say, in this case. So much just terrible. It was at least 250 pounds of man beef showing up at their doorstep. I don't know. Of course, the music. I saw this video and I thought, what in the heck? I mean, that was a good deed, but this is the way people act today. There's 3 people in a car. They couldn't go around. There's rocks in front of them, and there are 3 people in that one white car. But yet an older man stops and moves all the rocks while they are watching. Why couldn't they all just move the rocks? Why couldn't they all just help each other and then they both could have been on their way? Why are we making one person do all the work? Folks, we need more people in this world to do all the work, not just one person to do all the freaking work. It is weird. I thought that was the weirdest video I've ever seen, and it was titled, "There are still good people left in the world. We need humanity." I thought, what are they trying to teach us? They all should have moved the frickin' rocks. All of them. Yeah, they were blocking the guy. The guy could have just kept on going, but he got out. They watched him move all the rocks. In the IDAHO4 case, it's going to take all of us to move the needle and say enough of the lies. One person can't do this entire job. And this goes for any case out there. Not one person is going to be able to do all the work. You guys, drop a lot of love for my mods. Drop a lot of love. Thank you for the donations today for them. G Whizzical, $15. Cats Girl, $20. We will definitely make sure that they get that. I appreciate every single one of you for showing up again. I'm Phoenix, your host at Phoenix Talks, and this community shows up for one reason: to find the truth. Be well.
February air, a winter's hush, a different kind of love, a sacred rush. For the roses is all the fleeting glance, before the scales and a fighting chance. We're the phoenix nesters watching from the wire, seeing shadows fall, fueling the fire. Every story buried, every silent tear. Here comes a promise whispered, conquering the fear. Oh, Lady Justice, can you feel the shift arise? A love for the truth deflected in our eyes. We're turning the pages, breaking all the locks. This is our true crime, resetting all the clocks. They sold you a story, a neatly packaged lie, but the threads are unraveling under a watchful sky. From the cold case files to the digital trace, we're finding a heartbeat in this forgotten space. Oh, Lady Taro space, can you feel the shift arise? A love for the truth reflected in our eyes. Return the pages, breaking all the locks. This is a true crime, resetting all the clocks. From the ashes of silence, a new day is born. For every lost soul, a promise is sworn. The blindfold is lifted, steady and slow. A garden of justice is starting to grow. Shift to arise, pure justice. The Lady Justice.
Brian has been essentially convicted in the media. He has a right to have this information withheld, brought out in public, so that people can see it's not this neat little package. So people can start to wonder if Brian's innocent. Your Honor, Brian is innocent. So if I talk about things that are in the affidavit, and if I talk about things that we're seeking that the state wants to hide, I think that's fair game for the public to hear.